When you search for understanding, you come across confusion. How it's manipulated makes me come to one conclusion. Once inside the labyrinth, it's difficult to exit, but the inner eye shall guide you through the darkness will protect you.
Watch Babylon fall when we yes, y'all. It's the all-I-seeing human being when you free in your mind. We have the common creed and concept is what we define when we drop it on the
one time for your brain cell.
I'm the alchemist with the twist from the true soil.
I'm sticking to my comments, never rap nonsense. The metaphoric title of my table of contents.
Organized tracks full of facts, so you know that it's me.
Dedicated to all truth seekers.
I make music to awake a new generation. As we send center stage to the process of creation. Find your own voice, choose not a life of imitation.
Come on and face reality.
It's a rat race. They put the G's in your face, and it's like that. It's like that. Hey.
When the haze clears, nothing is true. You play your music, or is music playing you?
Says he don't like them words, but the song's fat.
This ain't no Yaku affair or a new world disorder.
The world is already full of nonsense, so I contribute to your conscience.
While you were sleeping, I'm teaching his kids through graffiti.
Spends his entire life manifesting knowledge, wisdom, understanding, freedom, justice, equality, universal truth, love, peace, harmony, the law of reciprocity. And he summarizes message of simple theology.
And meditate to keep my state focused towards a balanced, positive energy activate.
I try to show them, let them know, and if they want to hear.
And will we ever awaken your mind to the truth that you find?
Liberté.
Welcome everyone to the LIBERcast, and we have this special intro. I like it very much. I'm not the hip hop guy, but I can appreciate the great lyrics there. Welcome to the LIBERcast, everyone, for the 28th one. It's going very fast, and I'm very pleased with how the podcast is going and all the support you're giving me. So thank you again. I'll never thank you enough. Gratitude. So we're gonna have a good show tonight and talk about alchemy and music and artistry and all these beautiful things connects together. And I just want to share before we start that next Wednesdays I'm having Brendan Spencer talk about behaviorism. It's gonna be an awesome show, like usual. So next Wednesdays at 9 p.m. So thank you for being there, Derek. I appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. Honor. And yeah, you're doing great things. I'm glad networks are expanding and cross-pollination. The bees are buzzing, and that's what's up. And yeah, likewise on my end, a little bit. Still a little slow and sluggish, but yeah, we're getting there.
Well, we're starting somewhere. Everyone is starting somewhere. So
right, yeah.
We're making mistakes, and we have to be like humble about it. You know, there's no perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, indeed. And I've had a couple little setbacks because I'm supposed to be in your country over in Maple Leaf Land, but the gosh darn government, right? Holding the brother down.
Is it because you cannot enter?
I can't enter. I did all the loop hurdles and loops to slide through the non-jabbed COVID restrictions, but I got there shockingly. They brought up some criminal felony records I've had from like ancient times of 15 years ago. But apparently they make that a big deal. But they even make a DUI a big deal. Like if you got a DUI even like 5 years ago, they're going to deny you at the border, you know. Despite my, reasons of compassion and love of quitting France and my life over there to go to Canada and start anew and, put myself out there, they didn't even let me try to make it happen. So, yeah, I've had to deal with my own processes and heartbreaks, heartaches, and trying to get that phoenix to rise out of the ashes through the beautiful alchemical processes. And transferring all types of murderous rage into some kind of positive steps to resolve all this stuff. And I've had some success in actually getting my records kind of expunged and reduced and corrected on a federal and state level. And yeah, it's always grinding gears talking to some of these government people, but I've had some good interactions. I'm even like laughing it up on the phone with them, you know. So working the magic any way I can, just even if it's with the enemy, right, or whatever. So
Well, this is what I call having one foot in, one foot out.
Yeah, we got to have a good balance of reality and spirituality, right? And that's did a project about that, as I always like to insert, because what did you think about that music? Because I know you and a lot of folks up in the truth community are pretty big time punk rock and heavy metal. Yes, and I'm like, wow, okay, like I want to.
Let's talk about
not feeling that. That's totally cool, but you know, like.
So this is my opinion. I'm sending you there. Okay. Mm-hmm. First of all, my spiritual path, metal is part of it. I'm a metalhead, pure metalhead. I still listen to other music, but mostly like 99% of the time. This is a very emotional connection that I have with this kind of music. In all the spectrum of emotions, I found something in metal.
Cool, yeah.
So I think most people, you talk whatever the kind of music that you're listening, people still get the same result. You know, some songs can bring them joy or happiness or sadness or like depression or something like that. But I think it's the same thing for most of, like, depends on what your tastes are, you know. I'm more of I like rough and like technical music. I like the connection, the intimate connection with classical music. You know, because metal is.
Ooh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you showed me some really cool stuff. That band out in India.
Bloodywood.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. I like them very much. Like they're
heavy metal music, man. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah,
and they got some cool imagery and videos and all that stuff. Yeah. And yeah, they're working their magic across different genres, man.
The lyrics are awesome too. You know, they talk a lot about down to earth things. You know, it's just the power of metal. You know, there's nothing like going into a show of metal and feel all these people like channeling their energy and having fun. You know, and shivers. You know, because you know their songs. You know and everybody is in the same mood. You know, it's beautiful. It's really beautiful.
Yeah, vibing to the beat, man. Yeah, and every genre has their audiences and crowds and venues kind of marching the beat to whatever drum and stuff. And I want to say all genres, you know, cater towards, you know, truthful expressions, but like pop culture, to be honest, I've been impressed with some of the songwritings of a few songs, but it's so fluffed out sometimes, you know, and like a little too wishy-washy, new agey, and all this stuff, and like lyrics don't even make sense, or they kind of all pretentious or all over the place. But sometimes like me, like I've felt the same spectrum of emotions and like everything through hip hop, and I've just been exposed to it live and direct in the Bay Area, and like growing up with people that were rapping and doing slam poetry and battle raps and stuff like that. And beatboxing with them and trying to keep the cipher going and all that good stuff. It was a great outlet for energy and just that medium of express. And it's hip hop's unique in a lot of ways. Some of the scenes are pretty flippin' whack though, you know, and like there's a lot of, you know, the old school stuff, like real like sexist kind of like degrading on women, for example, that kind of stuff, or just, you know, being super vain, materialistic, and all about the image and the flipping money and the stupid drugs and whatnot. Now we got designer drugs with people popping off with whatever the fuck, with a million tattoos on their body and face and whatever kind of hair color cut. and whatever, man. It's just it's the most dumbed down form of music I've ever seen in my life, and I've been so disgusted with it. And I was already disgusted with a lot of music out there, especially whack-ass hip-hop, that was one of the motivating factors for me to kind of do what I do, which is, you know, I make these tapestries of truth-infused music that are hitched onto certain themes for the most part, and, you know, setting the stage and like soundscapes for, you know, hitting a certain subject in so many different angles through so many different artists and many different melodies and expressions. And I even throw in the sound samples of some of our, you know, beloved philosophers like Manly P. Hall and them cats, you know, trying to introduce people of a wide range to things they'll never come across, you know. So that's been my MO, because I didn't get my grammar up. I was still kind of learning French and compromising some of my English, but yeah, man, c'est la vie, mon ami.
I mean, there's a whole world of music.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're going to a different kind of music, and then you can find like a wide range of things, of different things, different sound, different. And I want to add that a lot of people who are doing spiritual music use binaural and things like that in their background. And I want to talk about my experience with that. And
sure, yeah. Oh crap! Continue talking. I'm just gonna plug in my computer.
So
sorry.
I discovered these frequencies. I don't know if the people will recognize that, but they're frequencies that you can put in your headphones and then meditate upon, and they're very powerful tools to clean your body. And it's not as efficient as crystal or
Tibetan bowls and all that,
like bowls and things like that, but they're very powerful. You know, some of them you're gonna, if you like already know what this pressure in your forefront, in your front there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some music, some of them will make you that. You know, you're gonna feel a discomfort in your pineal gland and things like that. If you're not like initiate to that, to meditation, it's gonna induce you into meditation and trance.
Mm-hmm. Real talk, man. Yeah, get those theta waves, whatever.
Yeah,
it can even like heal DNA type of thing. Or man, have you seen the Rife frequencies as well? And yeah, to be honest, these things are great since there's so much, you know, filthy, murky waters within the New Age stuff. I'm really kind of skeptical of certain frequencies and wondering if, you know, they're actually true to, you know, the frequencies and things that they're set on and what they say. What is it, the solfeggio spectrum frequencies? Like the music I've been mixing for the past, you know, like 7 years, as soon as I was able to acquire the software, was converting all the music I upload in 432 hertz instead of it being on the 440, right? Yeah, and I have two playlists on my channel actually. One delves into the whole philosophy and science about these harmonics and frequencies and fractals and cymatics, right? And then I have one playlist dedicated to these binaural beats and theta wave, you know, frequencies and all that stuff. Even right.
Can you explain the difference between 432 and the other one?
And the 440? Yeah, well, apparently the 432 is more just, it's what's the natural frequency of the musical spectrum based off of the harmonics of this planet, something of the sort.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I kind of have my questions about that, even because we are in a fallen time matrix where we have these Metatronic reversals and things are on the inverse in so many ways on a multidimensional level. But all that aside, right? Let's say the 432. This is our, that's the more organic one, and they flipped on to the 440. That's what they made the standardized musical tone or whatever, and they wanted the recordings to be in to keep the distortions within the brain. These are just all the weapons of silent wars, right? And the multidimensional attacks on humanity, because we are so flippin' powerful. I know we can swear in this, but I don't know.
You can, but
I'm trying to practice, being around kids. I'm going to be an uncle pretty soon. So, anyways.
Well, this podcast for people to know that it's adult. This is for who can process information.
Yeah.
So
yes, I got no issue or taboos with language, anyways. It's just
it's pretty open here. I never got trouble from language, and sometimes I'm swearing, and I got no problem with that.
Yeah, voila.
So yes, I know you wanted to talk about some things. Do you want to bring something that something about your work?
Ooh, yeah, sure.
What are you up to?
So, what is my work trying to accomplish? Why even do this? Geez. When you have a serious, profound spiritual awakening, you want to get others to experience the same thing. And throughout the years, trying to figure out ways to do it, and like I mentioned, not really feeling comfortable within my own voice, even though I got that heart chakra activated, and a lot of music that I listened to, actually, which I wanted to mention as well, which got me on this path. Listened to it in high school, and a lot of rebel music, and fuck the system, fuck the industry type of shit. We're not having it with the MTV commercial radio cats. That's the dumbed down shit that is directing humanity's silly behaviors and adding on to the minutia, right? But there's so many songs that I've had growing up that just made me cry, so many tears of conviction, and I noticed a lot of times I would resonate tenfold after being awake on a higher frequency, having that Kundalini type of awakening, to put it short and simple. And what I noticed is, a lot of times my throat chakra was on fire. It was burning up really bad, and some of these profound lyrics that these artists have, and the way they use the wordplay and flipping the script and going through an alchemical process within a paragraph of lyrics, that kind of stuff. That it's so mind blowing, And are you familiar with Mark Devlin?
Yeah.
He's a conscious DJ himself, and but he turned to doing presentations and writing books and exposing things on a pretty very occulted level, exposing the music industry, actually, and seeing how many military and FBI and government affiliates are parents or groomers or whatever of a lot of pop artists, since the 70s,
mm-hmm.
60s, whatever. Even what about Elvis, right?
Symbolism, mostly.
Get me back on track. What were we talking about?
We're talking about what is your work? Did you have some work that you can talk about? I mean, something that you have on the web. Do you have? I know you have a podcast.
Yeah, I'm trying to get this podcast going. It's on YouTube, and I'm just kind of shuffling all my works on BitChute and YouTube and Brighteon and RoxyTube now. But yeah, I'm trying to do a lot more content like this. It's a lot easier for me and less time consuming, especially at the level I am with my comfortability being in front of a camera and speaking on stuff that needs to be spoken more about, right? I'm trying to get more people involved as much as possible. I want to interview artists as well. I want to see what, drove them to, because some of these artists, they knew about so much occulted information before they were like pre-stages of the internet, and it was just from reading books and listening to certain speakers within certain communities and that kind of stuff. So, and, the African-American side of hip-hop is obviously the foundation of that genre, and they have so much conviction for all the corruption and the fucked up government and police state and all that stuff, right? So we were keyed into that a long time ago with Public Enemy, KRS-One.
So what your influences in music?
So many. Let's go over the 5 elements of hip hop. I mean, I'm doing the DJ stuff because I can write, but rapping, forget about it. I can bust out some spoken word. I'm not well rehearsed, or I'm not good at memorizing lines. But growing up, I was never like an aspiring rapper, or like never tried to be a wigger or whatever the hell, But I knew my boundaries. I stayed in my lane and whatever, right? 5 elements of hip hop. I'm not aligned or one with all of them. You got the breakdancing, that art of expression, that beautiful release of energy. That's an alchemical expression, especially when people can really transmute that energy. I mean, these were people growing up in the ghettos, spinning on cardboard, flattened out on the concrete, listening to some music that that just throws out the bad mood, and they can work out the energy through some rhythmic dance and through music, and that's really cool. Other form of expression is graffiti. You see me? I mean, we had all this stuff. I mean, all people around the world, they're familiar with so many great artists like Banksy, and they see these murals on the walls and all this stuff. I mean, this is pre-Maine period, guys, all right? Like, folks are tagging the truth on the wall. It was written in the halls a long time ago. A lot of people just, didn't bother to see, stuck in the ignorance of it all, or, the whole comfortability of, well, it's not happening to me, so la-di-da, whatever.
They were the proto-memes.
Yeah. Right, so other element is beatboxing. The other one is emceeing, which is master of ceremony, the writing, the rapping, the lyricism, the wordplay. And the other is producing. And I swear, these guys don't get enough credit. These are magicians, man. Like, the melodies they put out, and I'm going to get to this later in regards to, like, how I respect other genres of music a little bit more than hip-hop, just because a lot of it doesn't include live instrumentation. A lot of it does. And one of my favorite genres, which I haven't heard the term before, and I don't want to necessarily coin it myself, but jazz hop, like acid jazz, all types of jazz. I mean, the original hip hop was jazz. There's I forget this guy's name, but he was just flowing over the beat like any given rapper, like back in the 50s or something, Oh man, he's so great. Like, there's so many jazz standards that got converted into hip hop tracks, and the whole point of DJing was to create a beat off of scratching off of these records and sampling a little bit of some old school soul or funk or blues, reggae, all that good stuff.
And I would add that on the metal side, metal It's a very tribal music.
Mm.
You know.
Oh yeah.
You can
crazy drums, man.
Yeah, crazy drums and like heavy stuff and rhythmic, and you have this. You know, when you look in these festivals, you know, they have this tribal mentality. You know, the people are like joining together and they're having fun, and you can feel it. Do you know about Wardruna? And
yeah.
And these bands are awesome. They're not metal, but the metalheads listen to this music because it's very in the roots of humanity. You know, this folk primal music. You know, they were playing with bones and trumpets and things like that.
Man.
The presence is, you know, I know you know about the people. It's called Wardruna and Heilung. It means healing. This band there, it's Heilung. It's very good. It's very primal. They're playing with like woods and drums and things like that.
Bones.
It's not aggressive music. It's more of it's
mystic.
Yeah, exactly. It's mystic. It's an experience that you feel like in your guts and your body, you know, and in your whole body. This music there, it's moving me, you know. When I listen to them, I feel that like this deep connection to it, and most people like it, you know.
Yeah. Ancients are speaking to them.
Yeah, this Siri Vikings there. They put some of their music there, and it's very good. It fits very well.
Yeah, man.
I suggest people to go listen to it. It's
totally They don't just put on shows; they do symphonies, and it's quite this spectacular spectacle to see. For sure.
Yeah, guttural singing and this all this beautiful stuff that it's soul lifting. You know, this is how I describe it. It uplifts your soul. You know, some people will feel it in different kind of music, some trance that they're getting into. You know, when they're playing the music, and I think it's music. It's an expansion of your emotions. So you can not only that you can feel it, but you can make it feel to another person, you know, and that's very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it's so dangerous at the same time.
Yeah, and that's why it's always under attack, you know.
They put stuff there. There's some rhythmics that there are in the music, like usually pop music. It's very 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2 all the time, and it's very catchy. People like get hooked on it, but mostly they're garbage.
Of course, yeah. And it drives me crazy because it can get easily stuck in my head, even if I've only heard it for the first time and I only catch like a 30-second clip of that. You know what I mean? It's that they've made it that potent, you know.
Yeah, like Jennifer says, it's a form of mind control. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Indeed,
you know,
yeah.
Your attention, your attention, your consciousness is affected by that. You know, repetition.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about binary beats and frequencies, of course. What do you think that is?
Yeah, that's why they're putting the same song like 50 times. You know, it's crazy. I want to talk about little things there. My wife discovered these finger pianos. If you don't know about this, you have to.
No, what is
this is a kind of a ball metal, and you can hand piano and drum. Sorry about that, hand drum. And then you can play with sticks, and it's very beautiful. It's like it's more of a piano, but it's very the vibrations from it. You like put it close to you, and then you're playing and you can feel it. It's very powerful.
Yeah,
just
wow.
like playing tam-tams, and you're tapping in it. I like playing those because it's, for me, it bringing me into a trance like state. Like playing in it.
Totally.
I like it very much. The only thing that I didn't experience is having 20 people playing at the same time. That's the like.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah, like the nirvana of playing like this kind of instrument. It's very powerful because you're creating like these rhythmics and these beats that like it's trance inducing, you know. You're playing aside a fire, you know, and you're playing, and people are dancing, people are having fun, and it's very basic. There's no electric guitars or trumpets or flute.
Yeah, you don't need an amp or anything. Yeah.
It's only primal like rhythm, like, and it's very that's an hypnosis, like
very pure sound, therapeutic healing, right?
Yeah, I think most music are like that, but there's some more insidious, like we were talking about,
maybe
vibration and tonalities and things like that, and I think they're used as a weapon too. You know, if they can make you feel good, they can make you feel really bad. You know, if they're shaking your body, they're shaking your brain.
And then if they're watching it on television, the MTV, you get hit with the alpha waves and all that stuff too. So yeah, like Terence McKenna said, it'll put you in a larval state.
What about it?
Oh, Terence McKenna, he's got some real classic quotes on the whole television as a drug and how it's just completely turns people retarded and into like a larval state, you know, just, you know, curled up in front of the screen, kind of. You know,
hypnosis,
hypnotized, and sometimes not even hypnotized, because sometimes I can see the TV on and I know I shouldn't be watching it. I should get out of there. And I know that I'm being subjected to these frequencies, and yeah, sometimes I realize like, oh man, I got zapped. I got to get the hell out of here. I'm feeling some stagnant energy in me, you know?
Yeah, but well, they can be totally used as weapons.
No.
You know?
At the same time, in this world of complete, you know, satanic inversion and perversion of what is good, out of everything that is good, what hasn't been touched, right?
Sure.
Shall we do a apophatic inquiry on these things?
That's the fact. And I'm coming back to metal, but you know, it's not the greatest model in. There's a lot of nihilism and a lot of satanic like stuff there. You know, there's
so many genres of music as well, dude. Yeah.
Oh, I know, but this one they're pretty blatant with it. You know, they're not. It's more. I consider it as a show, you know. But there's some of them are pretty serious, and some of them are practicing like rituals, like on the stage before they're playing.
Oh yeah, I'm not surprised at all.
So some are more serious than others. You know.
Yeah, and I think it's also like grooming fans as well, especially at that level where it's a little bit more intricate and more involved and more in that setting of, you know, like cultish, like, you know, organized Satanism, as opposed to, you know, like, yeah, there's satanic rituals happening in all types of concerts and events, from Beyonce to Jay-Z to freaking Maroon 5 and whatever, you know, like doesn't matter. Sorry, I keep shaking my camera, touching the table.
I went to different metal band, and most of them like are talking about like very violent things and some dark aspect of this world that we're living in. You know, it's very it's very down to earth music, you know, because there's a lot of violence, a lot of gruesome things, a lot of horrors and scary things in the world. And I think people found a way to express it artistically. And
exactly, man. This is the basis of, you know, alchemical artistry, you know, flipping the script and making it, you know, digestible for people, and not being able to show the mirror of society, but in the most gentlest of ways, or the creative ways, or in a subtle way where, you know, they're not terrified to look at it, you know, and it could be that catalyst for them to look into it further and actually get that where it clicks, and they have that sense of awareness that they enough to actually care about changing their actions to, you know, do something about it, and withdraw their participation in the madness, you know.
The thing is, why it's so important to be aware of these things is the cultural aspect of music, the influence in the aggregate. So this is one point that I think it's never talked enough. I know people went deeper into analysis about music and movies. You know, I'm thinking about Michael Tessarians, who went like through to learn the history of rock and how it went, and then the EP 60, 70 wave of drugs and psychedelic compounds that was unleashed onto the masses. And they created an all new paradigm of music.
Yeah, right.
This is one of the aspect, and I want to bring that because at the same time that there were a psychedelic era, there was war raging at the other end of the world. You know, you had these people with playing cards and peace and love, and then people were, their brothers and fathers were going die in another country. They didn't try to stop them. You know, that's the crazy part about cultural mind control.
It was a psyop, you know. I wouldn't say psyop, but I mean, psychological operation. Yeah, it is. I mean, it's always an attack on the psyche, but you know, that's used in more specific terms, right? Like the QAnon psyop and all that stuff. But no, it is more of an operation for folks to become more passive, I guess. You know, just numb them with the drugs and get them blissed out. You know, let them, you know, sing a bunch of hippy dippy nonsense that, you know, flies over the moon and, you know, makes us want to dance and peace and love and happiness at the same time. Like you said, there's all this stuff going on. But yeah, there were demonstrations, a good amount were in the Bay Area. It has been pretty active. You know, when liberals were actually decent liberals, I guess, even if they were still statists, you know, they actually, you know, gave a shit about, you know, civil rights and things of that matter. But yeah, there were those hippies in San Francisco that threw flowers at the soldiers, and that's why they killed, you know, kind of stuff, you know. But how can we get through to order followers, right? And that's really the boot that's on the neck of humanity. How do we lift that off?
Oh, I don't know.
Do they listen to music? Right? Now they
I follow on a few of them, you know.
Oh yeah.
So I'm 100% incompatible with these people.
Yeah.
You know, I know, I can feel it. You know.
Yeah. Oh man, I went to a 20-year reunion.
The people that I know that was soldiers, they're fucking dangerous. You know, they're fucking dangerous for themselves and people around them. You know.
Well, yeah, it's unfortunate that they've been subjected to experimentations and certain vaccinations.
Oh, yes.
Sometimes, you know, and aside from all the other conditioning and programming to, you know, go through boot camp and, you know, get your ego beat up and bruised and shaped into, you know, the order following, you know, lower level, you know, yes sir, no sir type of person, right? There's more to it than that, obviously, and it sounds incompassionate, but I mean, you've seen the movie Full Metal Jacket, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of Vietnam and that whole, you know, false flag stuff, you know, comes to mind. And you saw how fucked up that guy turned out, you know? And it's not like every drill sergeant was like that, right? But I'm sure some were worse, right? But yeah. Anyway.
They make killers out of good men.
Yeah, and that's the same with the prison system a lot of the time, you know? A lot of these petty-ass offenses, and, you know, especially if they're, you know, victimless crimes, especially if it ain't causing harm to people, right?
Yeah, well,
they go to jail for even a month. They don't come out the same person. They got hardened through that, you know, that place, you know, unfortunately. And you and I, as, you know, conscious voluntarist anarchists, you know, the true sense of no masters, no slaves, and all that good stuff under cosmic natural law and objective morality, there's so many better alternatives to this whole prison industrial complex system that is a huge moneymaker. Oh man, like, and I've heard this throughout rap songs too, throughout the 90s, man. They talk about how, okay, the state of California has invested into 50 new prisons or something like that. Maybe, let's just say 20, but they've only invested into 2 new schools. What the hell kind of ratio is that? What does that say to society or about society? And this is all on the backs of taxpayer money, and they don't get it back, especially after the prison's making more money afterwards or whatever, right? Makes a shitload of fucking sense out in Killer California.
Yeah, it's complete. You're talking about Marxism. This is a complete inversion of everything we grew up with. You know, the family, the family, the nuclear family, and then morality, and common sense. Common sense has been like thrown to the window, you know.
Yeah.
It's either you're fucking brainless, or either you're racist, or you're sexist, or you're white privilege, and it's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Well,
it's
yeah,
fucking garbage. I'm gonna just say something a little bit about the white privilege. Really, men privilege? Who went fight the war? Huh? Who's building the infrastructure? Who worked in the mines? It wasn't women. It was men. Where men are dying sooner than women. There's more suicide in the side of men than the side of women. We lost our rights because of this Marxist garbage that is thrown out. You know, they try to dehumanize everything. Like they want to confuse what men and women are. It's unacceptable. This is not a mature society. It's not a mature civilization. It's an infantilized, dumbass civilization. When you know that what you're doing is evil and you're doing it, and you keep like bringing it up and voting and all these garbage, like this is your civil task to vote, you know. your vote for your master.
Yep. Yeah, sign my piece of paper and co-sign my name for whatever psychopath, you know. My job's done for the next 4 years. Hey, all right, let's go, you know, rant and rave about our guy and talk shit about the other side. Let's stay stuck in these dialectics, guys. You know, like, let's keep this cycle of insanity spinning. We're getting super far. We're going to build back better. But with that small dick energy from a retarded-ass dementia president of Joe Biden, who I ain't confide in, but
he's
small ass dick energy, you know.
He's literally a puppet. It's because you don't see the fucking cables, you know, over him. But he's like, there's something. There's someone with a controller and he's controlling him, you know.
Yeah. But yeah, I meant to say and just finish off. Triple B for Build Back Better. 666. That's the occult mockery behind that. And yeah. I wanted to say something else, but I forgot. Damn it. You were talking about some good stuff. Oh, yeah. So to just make a good point about the whole white privilege stuff, folks need to just understand where it came from, the origins of white privilege and the royal bloodlines and those rich motherfuckers. And there's religious ties to this as well and blah, 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 you know. The 1%ers, those are the, you know, white privileged, I guess, if you will, even though they're not all white, but whatever.
Yeah, well,
that's the one that we need to address. You know, that's all that matters to me as far as, you know, who's privileged or not, because these motherfuckers think they're above the law. They don't get, you know, they don't go to jail or pay a lot of fines or even pay taxes on a lot of shit, you know. But yeah, at the same time, like you said, they're all fucking puppets too, you know. Yeah. And even at the highest level of beyond 33rd and whatever the hell, like they're still meat puppets for the fucking archons and lower and upper astral levels. So, you know, it's their funeral and they're going to continue this fucking hell cycle and get their genetics ridden on by, you know, these, you know, parasites.
So the entertainment is largely apparatus for these oligarchs, you know, and these corporations, because now I think we can pretty much say that we are in like a fascism, corporatism, fascist corporatist in Canada at least, and this thing makes me very angry because I'm an abolitionist. You know, I'm an anarchist. You know,
yeah,
I never voted in my life, and I found it very very frustrating. You know, and as blatant as it is, you know, at the people think that everything's gonna be fine and like let's pray and meditate together, you know, and people will. The civilization of West, like America, the Americas, like we're about to see something that we never seen before. You know, they're telling you in your face now. You know, they're not even hiding anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, and to come back to art, I want to talk about this because there's a desecration of art, and monuments and architecture that represents like a state of evolution of humans, like these beautiful paints. And now this is they want to separate this from us because this paints are like emotional things too. They're thrown into a canvas and then there's feeling you can feel now.
Sorry.
You go.
It's completely depicted in that episode of The Simpsons. I saw it like randomly 2 weeks ago or something, where they're forced to wear the school uniform. It's just completely gray, no colors, right? And yeah, it's like they became so demoralized they couldn't even function. obviously exaggerating, but it's spot on with what you said, man. Yeah. So yeah, sorry to share that little tidbit in there. But, yeah.
So and now you have these modern arts, you know, the so-called like modern arts. There are ramblings and nonsensical like sculptures and made with garbage, and they're putting boxes, you know, in the corner, you know, in the museum, and they're calling it like that it's hearts, you know. It's disgusting, you know.
I know,
all these beautiful things that we have around us, you know. But mostly to go on a better note, I wanted to bring the more of the nature aspect of art and how nature influences human by its beauty, you know, by the sounds that nature makes, you know, like birds, and then you have the wind in the trees, you know, in the leaves, that all these beautiful things. And I think nature has been a great influence in what is art, because when you see like beautiful paints, and there's a lot of trees and sun and clouds and things like nature is coming back all the time, you know. When you listen to when you go to relax, you know, you want to relax and go and spend time in nature. Absolutely, you know.
It's funny. I'm gonna meet up with a good buddy of mine right after this, Odysseus Andrianos, and you spoke with him actually. I think you're gonna have him on pretty soon, right?
Who?
Odysseus Andrianos. A shadow work coach and all that stuff.
We're gonna make it happen another time. I was supposed to do it in 2 weeks, but
he hit me up, and I was like, maybe after our chat, you know, I was gonna go meet up with him, and he wanted to go out and just do some grounding out in the field, you know. Nature, man, that's the answer. Nature is the answer. Nita, mon amia. Have you seen a certain good friend of ours recently, Corey Andrelit? Of course you have. Good man. Anyways.
Yeah, and this guy is like very. I like how he explains things. It's very clear, you know.
Yeah,
I like his stance on anarchy and things like that. He touches, he takes things, and he like take every point and like explain it on this. That's still his opinion, you know.
Yeah, and he's challenging a lot of things.
It's very clear, you know. It's very common sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's great stuff, by the way. It's Corey and Drulet. What's his name of the Nito.com? Nito,
exactly.
Or something. I can't remember.
That's why I said nature is the answer, my brother. But it's cool. We're both going to be featured in his Freedom Summit, and
exactly.
Look forward to checking all that out as well. So
it's supposed to be at the end of September or something like that.
Okay, cool.
So yes, coming back to nature, I think the creative aspect and the caring aspect of nature is a fuel for inspiration and imagination. You know?
Always, man, always.
Everything is based on imagination anyway.
Yeah. I have a funny observation. It's not funny at all, but I'm thinking about the synchronicity of this thought in regards to what you just said, because I was living in about the middle of Oregon in a place called Corvallis, and right beyond this wall of this community I was living in, there's a bunch of homeless people and like druggies and whatever, and they're just chilling by the train tracks. They're all around nature and stuff, and like I was wondering, you know, because honestly, people like that do inspire me to want to do something, You know, not like, oh, we got to help these people. I got to take it on me. I'm going to be super righteous and virtue signal, whatever. No, not that at all. It's not just about, you know, finding solutions and even, you know, being able to talk to these people. Because guess what? I'm sure all these people on the streets that are, you know, they're probably anarchists too, but, you know, kind of a toxic, unrefined version. I mean, they'll probably say, fuck the government. They're not feeling the government, right? But as far as them to get their heads on straight and all that stuff. So I was actually inspired. So the question I have after what you said and after thinking about it as well is like, yeah, some of these people just live out in nature, you know? So what's their connection? How are these people being inspired and motivated as well, you know? But if you're addicted to something or you have mental illnesses, you might need some extra help, right? But yeah, I actually wrote like a 2-page letter for handouts. You know, when people ask for money on the streets, I've like $1 folded in that they can see the dollar, so they'll be motivated to take that with this letter that I wrote for them. And it's really, you know, motivational, compassionate, and inspiring for them. And I even get into like natural law and things like that, you know, just anything like that. It's just, we got to turn the lead into gold, even at the lowest common denominator. We got to get these people on our sides, you know, that's a huge community. If we get those people on our sides, that'd be pretty cool. Maybe they're not the most reliable, but hey. I don't know, just like thinking about stuff and just, you know, that's the Magi Nation, right? Use that imagination across the nation, spread it. Because I mean, like, what I wanted to also mention before this cuts off and I failed to is just the art of life. You know, what is one's art of life? What does that stem from? You know, the love of oneself and whatever kind of beat that they created that they're marching to the beat of your own drum, rather, you know? But yeah, a lot of people are just inauthentic, not, you know, having that true knowledge of self, respect for self, love of self, you know? So what kind of art of life can they cultivate from that exactly, right?
Yeah, living and growing is an art by itself.
Voila. Yeah, and just weaving together your own tapestry of life, right? Keeping your temple clean and, you know, the inside shrine that's so divine. And
I like the sculpture.
Yeah.
Context, you know, sculpting you again, you know, giving you another chance, you know. We don't have to be self-loathing and being like soulless, because I like the quote from I don't remember his name. He said that there are some people they're so poor that they only have money or something.
Yeah, man, I like that one too. I've seen that one recently.
People are soulless, you know. It's crazy.
Fuck yeah, man.
I've been in the street for a little while, and then I explored it, and I never came back. Some part of me stayed in the street. You know, I changed completely. You know, my perception of things, my truth about this world that we're living in, it was shattered. You know, because of what I seen there. You know.
Yeah. I can kind of relate to that. Just being arrested and thrown in jail a few times, and just like seeing all that stuff and just wanting to be at the opposite diametric of it or whatever, right? And yeah, like sometimes we have to see that darkness or whatever to be motivated to, you know, lighten our shit up, right? So
yes. Some people go in the military, some people are working their life out. I decided to take it cool and working what I wanted to, you know, and doing what I wanted to do. And then after that, I started the work of my life. The summum of art is creating new life. You know,
yes,
being
indeed.
a parent and having children, because this is something there. You know, that's one of the most beautiful thing that you can create in your life, because it's a form of creation. You're creating something. You're giving them. You're building a foundation for your children. You know, and that's an art there. Where you're making mistakes. It's not because the first time you play guitar, you're not super good. You know, you learn by the time, and you're making mistakes, but eventually you're getting better at it.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're becoming better humans too, you know. When I have the chance and the blessing of having found the great work and the knowledge of the occult to guide my own life before I had them, you know. And
Yeah, it's going to help us navigate that much better and go through it a little bit less unscathed, and, you know, without the self-inflicted suffering attached to all that shit too, right?
it's even your life, my direct life, my relative, it's changed radically, you know, because with children there's a frequency that, you know, there's some people who cannot tolerate it. Some people don't like the energy of children because they're very you know, energetic, you know. They're screaming because they have so much energy, you know.
Yes,
you cannot contain them all the time, you know. And I know, I don't know if you have children, but they're
no, but I've been around enough for sure.
They're my masterpiece, you know. This is how
yeah.
this is how I see them. I love them so much, you know.
That's
and
awesome. Yeah.
it's never perfect, but this is what art is all about, you know. This is the art of parenting, and the art of playing music, and the art of the great work, because this is a kind of art. What I would actually doing, I like this very much. It's art that we're doing, you know, with our voice and the time that I'm putting in it, and all the people who support it and support the other ones, the other great workers around the world doing a great job.
Hell yeah, brother.
Putting the work out, you know. So just you, and you have these flaming souls that they're doing the hard job, you know, and to take in the knowledge to put you forth, you and the people around you, and maybe like doing in the internet, like giving a chance to other people to like be curious about like the art of living and the great work. And it's fundamental. I think this should be like mathematics and French. For us it's French, but English is like would be it has to be a fundamental knowledge that children should and must learn, you know. This is the trivium and all these things. This is the art of building yourself, you know. And if you start with children, it's going to be way easier than us who have to break and peel these layers of schism and sometimes even distress and mental illness and things like that we have to deal with. And every illness is healable. You can heal it,
no doubt, man. Yeah.
you know. And people that to get back to the music and art, some people get through with music, and I'm one of these person, you know. This catharsis you can have this disconnection to yourself, and because these feelings you're causing them. It's not them, it's your interpretation, and this is your reaction to it, and it's very powerful for me. I had a lot of darkness and these things, and I think I used this music for channeling this energy, this force that I had in me, that I could not express. I could not like just like flipping out, and like it's I think it's a powerful tool for everyone. Everybody has this kind of music. Everybody has a different kind of music, this different taste on music, and that's why it's so beautiful. That's why it's so inviting. And when you start in that, like me, and I'm just going on YouTube or other site to find music, and it's like never ending. You can find so different like spectrum of music. Like you talked about jazz and blues and rock and roll, and then you have all these folk, all this folk spectrum of music. And
then all the subgenres and the local scenes, even so diverse. And music is a language in and of itself, just in whatever genre and all that.
You have different kinds. You have comedy too. Some people.
I wanted to touch on comedy also, man, because that's such a amazing alchemical form of art as well. And just being able to make someone laugh, and the power of laugh is so therapeutic and engaging, and because man, like, George Carlin knows, man. Bill Hicks knows.
Absolutely.
Well,
I think he wasn't. He was a comedian, but I'm not calling this like that. He was fucking blunt, slapping people, like,
just talking shit, man, and being funny about it.
He was telling truth most of the time, There was some joke that but most of the time was like slapping people around, And I listened to his show, and some shows I'm not even fucking laughing because it's so fucking true what he's telling. It's like the phrase. It's funny because it's true. It's not applicable all the time with George Carlin. When you know what he's talking about. It's very very blunt, and I like his style.
I've incorporated a few minutes of his vocal samples over some of my projects and all that stuff. You gotta let someone come in blunt.
Yes, well, we like them. We like the people who are telling us the truth,
Yeah, for sure. And
this is
these are so, they can be so daunting. The level of skill and professionalism that some of these people put in, whether it be music, comedy, and whatnot. And for those young, inspiring folks that are aspiring to do something of the sort, or you gleaned in on some truth or whatever, or you're well advanced, you're well initiated, whatever, and those mediums seem daunting. I mean, even doing a podcast can feel daunting. I mean, like, there's so many things we can do out there, like, we got to use our imagination in so many ways and bring out that beautiful creative side, through that cultivated cosmic care that you got at this point, right? I mean, anyone can make a meme, right? Or we could print flyers, even print information that you compiled or you found it, click and copy and paste, that kind of stuff. We could make and distribute pamphlets and stuff. We could try to make it a goal to, at least, if you're stepping out of the house to do errands, work, whatever, try to speak with at least one or everyone you come in contact with about some kind of important matter,
Yeah, documentaries are really good too.
Yeah. I made some docu-musicals, actually.
So we're an hour and 8 minutes now.
Oh, shit.
Do you have a YouTube or something that you share your stuff, and you have your Facebook and things like that? You can plug it. I would really like to hear them too.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, who's not on BooTube? Except for those that got booted off of it, right? I have 2 channels mentioned earlier. Holistic Logistics, that's kind of more concentrated on, walk and talks, podcasts, like these. And I want to interview everyone in the good old truth community, especially them natural law cats, man. I respect them. Relate on so many things on, deep ass levels. That's why. Right? And then I have my main YouTube channel that I've been doing for 10 years. My conscious mixes, I got all that there. I'm actually going to just upload everything on there now because, whatever. I'm doing a lot less music and focusing more on, content like this, getting my name and voice out there a little bit more.
Yeah.
And that is AwakenYaMind. It's spelled Awaken, Y-A, Mind. One word. Let it be known, let it be heard. And yeah, you can find me on BitChute, Odyssey/LBRY, Bradion, all that stuff.
Awesome. So I want to thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing your wisdom with us. And let's contemplate on this. And I think it made me give me back my interest to mediums of enlightenment, like binaural and things like that can connect to us. And I think art is the way to complete yourself. When you have interests like that, you don't like too there. Don't go too high. Start at the bottom. It's like trying to jump over something that you cannot do. It's very very humble, and give you the time to discover what you're interested in when like you're in music. And I think it's a great way, and for the others. And there's a whole world of different things that can be explored. Movies, music, you can draw, paint, sculpture, woodworks. There's so many things. One of my friends, my good friends, he's burning woods and he's doing beautiful things with furnitures.
Ooh.
And things like that, and burning the woods, and it's beautiful carvings there. So thank you very much, everyone. And I appreciate everyone for their support. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
And
thank you, Fred.
Thank you, Derek, once again.
Cool, mon ami.
Ça me fait plaisir. So let's have a good evening, and we're seeing you next Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Take care, people.
Ciao.